Good evening and welcome back to Real Reds. My name is Sam and joined by Adam Chivy. United have won 2-0 against Wigan Athletic in the FA Cup. Is it the third round or the fourth round? Which round are we in?
Fourth.
Fourth round.
Fourth.
And we're through to the next round to face either Eastleigh or Newport. Massive giants in the Football League. Adam, come to you first. Before we get into individual players and goals and stuff, summation of the match, thoughts, feelings?
Well, it feels like, our players couldn't hit a barn door if they were taking a shot with a football for most of the game. I can't remember us having that many shots in a game in a long, long time. I know we'll go into the stats, but it feels weird that I'm actually, relaxed watching United. I know it's a League One side, but it has been a long time. I'm not obviously excited over that, but I'm just... I know we won, but there's a little bit of disappointment too there because I think they were ready there for the taking. It should be 5-6 nil. It should be easily, and that's our issue, especially under Ten Hag. We just haven't been scoring enough goals, and that's why our goal difference is so bad, and it has been for the last 2 years as well. And I think today summed it up. We miss absolute sitters, and it's just not good enough. I know Hoyland has had a few chances there too, Rashford as well. But there's a good few chances there that have to be burying. And McTominay, don't get me started on McTominay too.
We'll get there. We'll get there. I thought you were going to carry. I thought you were going to carry on. Sorry, right? Chivy, feel free to sort of comment on anything Adam brought up. But there's a couple of things I want to get into on there. The first one is Hoyland had a lot of chances today, probably 3 or 4. That he probably should have buried. I can think of 2 he definitely should have put in the back of the net. Just give me your thoughts on Hoyland. Should we start to worry yet, or do you think we're still got time?
No, I wouldn't worry. He didn't do anything wrong, in my opinion. Strikers miss chances. I mean, we've seen that 1,000 times over. It doesn't matter who you are. I've watched games with Nistelrooy where he was just absolute rubbish. Like, do you understand? So I've well, not rubbish, but he just couldn't, bury the
finish
chances.
his dinner.
Exactly. When we played Arsenal in the FA Cup final, I think Adam must have been like in kindergarten or something. This is like the 2000.
The one here.
Is that where the penalty and then they started shoving him like laymen and stuff like that?
No, this is
that was in the league, I think.
Final, FA Cup final, the Arsenal won in penalties. Mm-hmm. We literally had 24 shots, I think. Like, we battered Arsenal all game and it was 0-0. And it was we just kept missing chance after chance after chance. And then we went into extra time and then obviously penalties and then Arsenal won that one 5-4. So the point I'm making is that we've seen this before. I'm not worried about Hoyland. I'm happy that he was there when the chances were created.
Sure.
Certain chances. The header, I know Drogba said this before, heading the ball is one of the hardest things to do. Well, instinctively, basically, to score.
Yeah.
It's one of the hardest things to do. And he's there. He's just doing, so I'm not worried. I think if I saw any more performances like this after maybe 3-4 games in a row, then maybe I'll start getting worried. But I'm happy he's there,
Sure.
to his chances. What kind of worries me a little bit more is some of the decisions that he made when he was deeper. Mm-hmm. And there was a few times when he could have played in Garnacho and he chose another. So I was like, does he have a problem with Garnacho? But I don't know. But in general, my emotions were changing during the game because at first I was happy that we're creating chances. And then the more we started to miss chances,
you're like, this is not going to go in, is it?
Yeah, that's pissed me off. Especially, this is even after we scored, but especially in the second half, there were so many times when Rashford and Bruno were trying to shoot from the left-hand side. They weren't even hitting the target. It was literally just out, and I was like, this is worrying because what are we doing in training? I mean, if we can't even hit the targets from, and it's a kind of thing where, I mean, I just saw Man City put 5 past Huddersfield easily.
Yeah.
Without even going into gear 2, they literally just played them off the park, put 5 past them, made loads of changes, and then it was just like, yeah, let's just take the day off, kind of thing. So yes, we've won 2-0, and I'm happy with the win, and I'm happy that we're creating chances, but I'm hoping that this is a one-off in terms of the chances that we're missing.
Been a lot of one-offs for Man United this season that we're hoping, isn't there? But yeah, Adam, like, feel free to contribute to the sort of the Højlund thing. I wanted to touch on the defending. I thought we looked very open at times, like extremely open. I thought Dalot going into that midfield position just left that left wing spot totally open, and he just sort of negated his defensive responsibilities. Scored a great goal, but defensively, I think he's a little bit suspect. There was a couple of misplaced passes from Johnny Evans at times as well. Yeah, thoughts on a defensive performance, because it worried me a little bit that League One side could create so many opportunities, and with a better team, we just get absolutely put to the death, don't we?
Yeah, with a better team, if you're up against one of the, I suppose, any Premier League side, we've seen it, we've been caught countless times. You mentioned it there with Dalot as well. Sort of similar to what kind of McTominay has been offering, gets a goal, but what else has he offered?
Yeah.
And his main job is to actually defend. Okay, I'm referring to Dalot here. And he got caught out a few times, and we got caught out very, very early on, the first 3 minutes, and I genuinely thought it was going to be a long, long night after that. Yeah. I thought we were let off massively there. Could have been a different game had that gone in. Credit to Onana for that. But like across the back four, I noticed like we were playing a bit of a higher line as well, and they kind of benefited at points for that. But against a more clinical side, we're going to concede at least 2 or 3 of them, and I know we have Liverpool coming up, and that's going to be very dangerous if we're playing that sort of style against them. I know it's a different team now; it's Wigan, League One team, but like these are probably the same players that are going to be available then, given our injury crisis at the moment as well.
Illness.
It is a bit suspect.
The illness that's like just going through. Why is everybody ill? Like Martial's ill, Dalot's ill, Eriksen's ill as well. Or was he injured? Which one? I can't remember. Somebody was injured, and then somebody was ill. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, it's extremely worrying.
You weren't at a party with them, were you?
Oh yeah. Jimmy's responsible for the crisis. He's just licking Man United players' pint glasses at New Year's.
Actually, what Adam was saying, well, to the question you asked, I disagree just slightly, because I feel like, obviously because of the opposition we're playing, we could afford to play with Dalot dropping into the midfield, and it made an easier day for Kobe Mino, who actually was my player of the man of the match, Mino. But I think positionally it was easy, because Wigan literally were just going to play off. They were just going to sit back and play off us. So when Dalot drops in and forms a 2 with Kobe, it allows for Bruno to push further and McTominay to do his second striker thing, which obviously nobody's a fan of.
No,
but
even that he couldn't score the chances that he was given. Like the one thing he's good at, and he didn't put any away.
But this is the first time where I was watching. I was like, okay, Ten Hag, you can get away with it today, because I could kind of see it work the way it was supposed to.
Sure.
I mean, ideally, if it went the way we planned it to go, it could have been like 6 or 7, because he was actually causing trouble in the box. It was annoying, because that's the really.
Attacking wise, I've got no issue with him. Attacking wise, he's very, very good. It's just defensively is where he lacks.
He always, because I mean, he pulls players away basically, and then allows for people like Højlund and Bruno to make those runs in. So I could see what Ten Hag, I could see the whole plan, but it still pisses me off. I don't like it at all.
Yeah.
But defensively, I was really happy with Johnny Evans and Varane. Yes, Evans gave the ball away once or twice, but it was a very experienced defense against a very inexperienced attack.
Sure. So
it kind of stood out, and they were comfortable. I was quite happy, and especially I like to see when Dalot or Shaw, I prefer it with Shaw, drops into the midfield, because it just gives us that, just so much more bodies in there, and all of a sudden we just look like we're outnumbering them. But yeah, I know Dalo did slip up a few times, but I think with the opposition we could afford to do that.
Sure,
today.
the quality was like a little bit lacking, wasn't it, with
Yeah.
Wigan? No offense to them, but yeah, it's a different standard. Adam, do you want to talk about Scott McTominay? I mean, you don't have to, but you feel free to. I know you mentioned him in the beginning of the review, but yeah, feel free to speak about Scott McTominay.
I think we're better off talking about his bird. I saw that picture. I was like,
told you, Chivy, money takes you up like 3 points. Like if you're 5 and you've got money, you become an 8. Like it happens.
Yeah.
Anyways, Adam.
Okay, where to start? It's one thing I have noticed in recent weeks too. Maybe tonight wasn't so evident, but he did have the chances. He seems to find himself in a position where the striker obviously should be acting as that second striker, but he's almost taking the chances away from our striker in doing that.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why in, I suppose, the last couple of months, Hoyland hasn't had the service because all the service seems to be going to McTominay. And then, like, his main job is being in midfield and he's hiding in possession. Like, if you look at the possession stats and the passing stats from him, like how many touches he gets per game, it's actually shocking for a midfielder. It shouldn't be that low. Like, he's meant to be, that kind of, I suppose, what you call it, box to box. Like, he should be easily getting 50 plus passes a game in the way we... Like, I've seen as low as 20
I was going to
something.
say, in the first 20 minutes, I don't think he touched the ball up to 5 times. Honestly, there was a time I kept trying to type it in the chat, and then I was just like, this guy has not touched the ball, and he literally hides in possession.
I can't remember what game it was. I think it might have been West Ham. I think he had less touches than Onana in the game.
It's
which
insane.
Is just like, that's ridiculous. How has a midfielder had less touches than the goalkeeper? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. Sorry, Adam. Sorry for cutting you off.
I know you're all right, but it's a common factor that seems to be constantly happening. And I'd, again, be curious to see actually how many touches he had. And I wonder how many of those touches were actually like an attempt on goal or arriving in rather than actually picking up the ball. Like a good percentage of these touches have to have been that. But it's not good enough, it isn't. Like, and we've said it for months constantly that the pros don't outweigh the cons. They don't with them. And it's so evident that we actually need this midfielder. And I know we've had the likes of Ericsson come back, and again, he wasn't available tonight. He probably would have started tonight, I can imagine, if he wasn't ill. And we've seen to play a lot better. He picks up the ball. He's not hiding in possession. And we just look a lot better on, like, the way we play. But McTominay, he just seems to hold back the team, and I don't know why the manager just insists constantly on playing him, because we've seen other players, like, I know, like, it might be that popular to say, but Hannibal, at least he has that intensity as well to actually get back and defend as well. We don't see that from McTominay. We don't. And it's just not good enough. My father would probably kill me for saying that, because for whatever reason, my father loves McTominay, and I genuinely don't understand it.
Your dad's not Ricky from United Stand, is he? Because he's got the same obsession, hasn't he? Like, just talking about McTominay. Yeah, I don't understand what. I do understand what he offers to the team, but like you said, that pro is outweighed by so many negatives. Yeah. Like the stuff he doesn't do and the stuff he's bad at just makes the team a worse unit together, especially in that midfield, like where you've got an 18-year-old basically holding your midfield together as a pivot, like, and it just, you then have to play certain players out of position. Like Bruno has to play the 8 then, because you can't trust Scott McTominay to play there because he abandons his post. So Bruno is playing deeper, which he can do fine, but it's not his best position. His best position is in the 10. So it just affects all the rest of the team, and he's purely a negative, and it is really frustrating. His contract is up apparently in 18 months, so it will be interesting to see if he's on that list of people who are getting renewals at the minute. I know Lindelof got given one, Wan-Bissaka's got given one, Hannibal did, so it'd be interesting to see if he's on there as well, because his contract's due up. I hope not, but with United, you never know. A couple of things in the comments. Team overall performance was tentative from K7. Would like to see more fluent rhythmic passing and ball movement. Players are not finishing their dinner, major problem. Tottenham will press better and more intense. And then, is McTominay going to be here next season? That's what the manager is encouraging. I mean, yeah, I hope not.
He was transfer listed during the last summer,
yeah.
which is what I don't understand.
Yeah, Bruno should be playing in McTominay position. Yeah, exactly what I've said, and play Gore. I mean, I think it's a bit early for Dan Gore. I like what I've seen from him, but it's a lot. Like, I don't think he's at the Kobe Mainu level where you can just chuck him in and he'd be fine. I think he still needs development, but
I'll play him.
Yeah,
I'll play him. Fergie had no problem playing some of the youngsters. I mean, we played fucking Chris Eagles. We were just talking about Possibon the other time. We played Possibon. Yeah. Fergie had no problem at all. Like, whenever he felt like one of the senior players was taking the piss, he'd play a kid immediately.
Yeah.
You know, we played Jonathan Spencer.
Oh yeah, I remember Spencer. I remember Jonathan Spencer.
Is it Jonathan Spencer or whatever his name is?
Kieran Richardson as well.
Kieran Richardson, we had so many youngsters. Like, Fergie didn't care.
Yeah.
So with Angol, I'll play him.
That is. Ten Hag's a couple of comments. FA Cup's all about winning. It's knockout. You want to finish the job. That's what I said in the dressing room. Job done. He was asked if United should have scored more. He said, definitely in the first half. I think we created 5 or 6 very good chances. I think it's very good football. Should have taken more, but if you don't score, you have to stay focused. And I think we did that. And then he spoke on to Jim Ratcliffe's investment. It's an inspiration. Everyone's optimistic. Lots of work to do. We've had a lot of setbacks. And I think in the summer, we were in a good way, but it is a journey. It's a project. And now we have to deal with something else. So yeah, it's interesting. I just wanted to touch on the penalty as well. For me, very soft penalty. Obviously, VAR wasn't involved today, so we couldn't have it turned over if it was an obvious error. For me, it wasn't a penalty. Adam, penalty for you?
Well, I've seen Hoyland get wrestled to the ground, and it wasn't given as a penalty. He actually makes contact with the player, and I think he has every right to go down for that because, look, in slow motion, his leg looked fast when he was swiping him. Which kind of says everything. So I think the only thing that Bruno kind of lets himself down with is he's gone down holding his shin when he hit him in the toe. Yeah, it's a bit dramatic going down. But if there's contact there, I always say it's a penalty.
Yeah. Chivy, penalty?
Don't care, man. Penalty. We got it.
I'll take it. Don't care. I'll take it. Yeah, Roy Keane's just made an interesting comment. The manager mentions a project. Probably means he'll be gone in a few months. That's an interesting comment there. A very, very interesting comment.
When we talk about Garnacho on that right hand side.
Absolutely. Yeah, Garnacho. We were speaking about it in the group chat, weren't we? Anthony, I think Anthony was he ill or was he injured? I can't remember
He was not
either way, he's not there.
Yeah.
Garnacho played on the right, and I think in that game he offered more than Anthony has in every single game he's ever played for us. Especially with his left and his right foot, he was able to both feet cross the ball, cut backs, all that sort of stuff. Played really, really well, and for a guy who isn't a right winger and prefers the left, I've heard him say, I thought he did really, really well. And I think again another great performance. I think his other one was against Villa. I think he played really well on the right as well. Chivy, talk to me about Garnacho on the right hand side.
I'd like to speak. Well, he wasn't like super amazing, but it was just good to see some sort of productivity. Yeah, just some sort of productivity coming off that right hand side. And even though it didn't look like it, if I'd like to speak to the guy who played left back, the Sessegnon guy, because he was constantly busy. Garnacho had him on toes because he couldn't really tell. Okay, so he's gonna go to the byline,
he's gonna cut on it.
Come back this way, So it was just like, it was so great to see that just once again. And Wan-Bissaka just had such a good time, just trying to overlap, expecting the ball. Just finally, someone to just cross the ball from there, or to come in and shoot, or to pass, or to just some proactive, progressive play.
And you saw the chances as well. Chances came. Yeah. Like Hoyland had 3 chances.
And this is just him being decent. So on a day where he has a really, really good game, I mean, there's going to be problems. And this is what I'd like to see. It's just a shame that I think Ahmad got injured again. Somebody put
ill. I think he was ill.
Was he ill? Okay.
I think he's ill, yeah.
Yeah, but if we have them two on the right-hand side, then honestly, we can just do like a cut deal price for Anthony. Just be like, listen, you know,
name your price. Name your price. Yeah.
We'll just take a loss on that one. But yeah, I was just so happy to see some sort of, productive play coming from the right-hand side, obviously, because we haven't seen that in ages.
That right-hand side's been dead since a certain Mason Greenwood sort of ruined his career, didn't it? Like that's.
And what I like about Garnacho is that he helps in the build. Excuse me, in the build-up as well. So
tracks back as well. Tracks back.
He helps in the build-up. So it's not just the attacking bit of it. He builds the game up as well from the right-hand side, which is so good to see. Refreshing.
Absolutely, Adam. Feel free to touch on that as well if you want to.
I'd argue this season probably his best performances have been on the right side this year. And a couple of weeks ago we seen this. I think, as you said, was it the Villa game? He played there, and then Anthony came straight back, and we're just like, why would you do that when everything was like? It was probably the best our front three looked. Yeah. They were all fluid. They were, and then he went back and brought his love child back, which I don't understand. But Garnacho, for me, as Shivy said there, he offers everything. He runs and tracks back. He has the left full on toast. And one thing I have noticed, I think I mentioned it in the group chat as well, I haven't seen Anthony cut back on his left foot and actually take a decent shot in a long time.
No.
And he even offers that. He shoots better with his left foot than Anthony. And at this point, I don't want to see Anthony anywhere near the starting 11. In fact, I'm happy with him being at home uploading Instagram stories of the team. Let him do that, cheer them on from there.
Yeah,
he's just not good enough at this point. And the right wing has just been a void, a black hole, really, for years. So I suppose, as you said, since Mason Greenwood kind of, I suppose, left. But
it's so easy as well,
it's
isn't
a weird
it?
Scenario.
For like opposition teams to defend our attack. It's like, we just have to worry about the left-hand side. Like, we don't have to worry about that side over there because nothing's going to happen. So let's just leave that there and we can all just shift over to the left, make our job so much easier.
It makes you think now as well. We've signed 2 right wingers and they've both been flops.
Yeah.
And how much have we spent on the 2 of them? Is it 150 million?
150 million. So, Sancho's 70 and then 85 for, say, 165? 165 million?
Honestly, probably 165 million too much.
Mental.
Because what have they offered? Yeah. And we still haven't got a right wing. I'd argue nearly, I suppose Mason Greenwood was that kind of player who we thought would be there for years, but he hasn't. And before that, I'd argue
Valencia was the last one. Valencia was the last right winger we bought, Valencia, and he wasn't. He wasn't amazing, was he? Like he wasn't. He was good, but he wasn't.
Yeah, no. But to be fair, like Mason is actually a striker.
Yeah.
Naturally, we just play him there because he's that good and he's unpredictable.
Sure.
But he's not like a natural right winger. He's always been. Yeah, he's a striker. He's number 9.
But yeah, look at like other teams you've bought like wingers in that. You look at like Doku cost 35, 40 million. I can't remember what he didn't pay that much for him. Moussa Diaby cost what? Like a couple of like 50, 30, 40, something like that, whatever it is. Leon Bailey, 35, 40 million. Like it's not like they're hard to find. This is not gold dust. Like there's not a shortage of wingers out there. There's fucking tons of them. Like everywhere for a decent price. Like this is not hard. Like I've just named 3 off the top of my head. I'm not even a scout. Like
this is exactly why I like shrewd buys. I don't like obvious buys. No. I always like the shrewd ones because it means that you've actually taken time to scout your player. Sorry?
you've actually sat down and watched him, like
Yeah,
rather
you've
than
done
just
your
go
homework.
some
Yeah, you've
some agent
scouted
spin in
the
your ear and gone, this guy, like you're just like, all right, yeah, sure.
yeah. Brighton just signed another guy from Boca Juniors literally today.
He's just gonna tear the world up in it.
10 million.
Yeah,
10
he's
million.
he's gonna
For
be
10 million.
fucking insane the next 2-3 seasons, and then they're gonna sell him for like 80 million in about 3
Liverpool's
seasons.
probably going to try and buy him for like, 70 million next
Yep.
season or something.
Absolutely.
They just signed him for 10. So that's what I mean. Your scouts actually travel far and wide and then do their homework and then come back and say, listen, this guy, this is what we need and blah, blah, blah.
They have
So,
relationships with the
I hate
teams.
obvious guys, man. Yeah.
They have relationships with the teams that they go scout at, so they've already built in that network. So then when it comes to buy, they already know who they're talking to and they've got these relationships. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, I love that thing. It was like we had a database for right backs and it was like 500 odd names with it, and we signed Aaron Wan-Bissaka, the most obvious right back signing I could have made that signing. How are United scouts getting away with this shit? Going, yeah, we recommend Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Like, come on, man. Like, a kid who's playing FIFA knows you. Like, ridiculous. But yeah, we could go on about United scouting for the rest of the time. We're into the next round. We play Eastleigh or Newport. Adam, got a preference on any of those two giants?
Who was the smaller ground?
Eastleigh, I think.
Yeah, I want Eastleigh.
Eastleigh.
I want to get. Yeah, I think we're obviously a massive club, so a massive club coming to kind of town for someone like that, it's a big thing for that town. So look, give something back to the community. You've all seen United.
Yeah,
you all come to see United, basically.
I think Eastleigh are in the National Conference, and then Newport are in League Two.
They're 11th in the National League.
Yeah, and then I think Newport are in League Two. I think if I'm correct. But yeah, we're into the next round, and we've got a fairly favourable draw. Chivy, is this a competition we can win, or do you think let's just see how far we can go?
Let's just see, because a few Premiership clubs have
Arsenal are out, obviously. So
yeah, and they've drawn each other. So like City drew Tottenham.
Yeah,
I think Palace will play Villa. I think.
Yeah.
Palace and Bolton, whoever wins that will play like Villa. So there's a few teams that cancel each other out. So there's a chance. There's a possibility if we make it past the mighty Eastleigh.
Yeah. I love how we've wrote off Newport. We've just gone, fuck Newport. We want Eastleigh.
Eastleigh. Yeah, I mean, so who knows? So it's one of them ones where we just have to wait and see. It's the luck of the draw, isn't it? Like with the FA Cup, you never know what could happen. I'm not really asked about it like that much. I just want to qualify for Champions League. I know that seems like far-fetched now, but that's what I'm more concerned about. But it would be nice to get another trophy, to be fair. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes with this one.
I just want to enjoy watching some games, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we've got not much to play for. We're probably not going to get top 4 in my opinion, but you never know. I just want to be entertained and watch some good games.
Are we out of the Carling Cup?
Yeah. You got knocked out. It's the Carabao Cup, Jimmy. Showing your age. The Carling Cup.
You said the Milk Cup there.
Yeah. Coca-Cola. Worthington Cup.
Yeah.
Go back that far.
Yeah. Who knocked us out?
Newcastle.
Oh, right, yeah.
With their C team. Just absolutely mopped the floor with us. Fun times. But yeah. Thank you for joining us, lads. Appreciate your time. Appreciate your insight. Thank you to everyone in the chat. If you're watching this on demand or you're watching it live, appreciate all your support and all your comments. We'll be back with a show tomorrow, I'm sure, of some sort. We don't play Spurs till Sunday? Saturday?
Sunday, I think.
Sunday,
I think.
Yeah, Spurs, Sunday. Oh, is that at home or is that away?
Home.
At home. Cool. So yeah, we'll probably have a preview for Spurs on Friday, and we'll get my friend Dan on, who is a Spurs fan. He must be loving it this season because they've run a really decent season, so we'll get him on. But yeah, lads, thank you for your time. Anything else you want to say before we head off?
That was all good.
All good?
I think seeing John Claude Blanc in the crowd
Yes.
there. Hopefully somebody he'll be working close with Man
Yeah.
United.
I'm
When I
waiting for
saw
the.
David Gill,
Yeah.
I almost cried, man.
Please come back, please.
I saw David, I almost cried, man. I saw
Yeah.
David Gill, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully we see Paul Mitchell or someone in the crowd at Spurs. That'd be good, wouldn't it? That'd be
Yeah,
nice to
but
see.
that's actually positive. Seeing David Gill
Yeah.
with whatever his name is,
Dave Brailsford, yeah.
and Blanc, all three of them together. So it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, three great minds.
Footballing minds as well. Actual
Footballing
footballing minds.
minds, yeah.
Yeah.
David
Not-
Gill, Jesus.
Not fucking bankers. That
Wait,
they
they're not
provide.
investor bankers. What?
No. Shocking, isn't it?
Footballing people
Yeah.
at a football club. What?
Yeah.
Not investor bankers?
It's a new thing, Adam. It's a new thing. We're trying something different. Cheers for joining us, lads. Thank you to everybody in chat. Thank you for watching it on demand. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Peace.
Right.